The rain lashed against the windows of the abandoned warehouse, mirroring the tempest raging inside Amy Rose. Just hours ago, she'd been sketching designs for a new dress, dreaming of Sonic's smile. Now, she was sprawled on the cold concrete floor, a crimson stain blooming across her pink fur. He had come silently, a shadow in the flickering candlelight, a glint of steel, a choked scream, and then, nothing. The memory was a jagged shard of pain, a black hole sucking away her identity. She tried to move, to scream, but all that came was a silent, desperate plea. Panic bloomed, cold and suffocating. She could feel nothing. No arms, no legs, no torso. Just a disconnected sense of consciousness, a floating awareness tethered to something missing. Then she understood. He had taken her head. Disembodied, she was trapped. A prisoner in the very space where she'd died. The air hung thick with the metallic tang of her own blood, a constant, horrifying reminder of her fate. She strained, trying to see, to understand. Her vision was blurry, unfocused. The room swam in a terrifying kaleidoscope of shadows and distorted shapes. Later, she saw him return. The murderer, his face obscured by the deep shadows of the warehouse, moved with a predatory grace. He was humming a tuneless melody, a chilling counterpoint to the mournful howl of the wind. He dragged something across the floor, a tarpaulin, heavy and lumpy. Amy felt a nauseating wave of dread. Was he disposing of the rest of her body? He stopped near a rusty metal barrel, the kind used for burning trash. The barrel was choked with black ash, the residue of previous victims, perhaps. He hefted the lumpy tarpaulin. Amy braced herself, her disembodied consciousness reeling. But he didn't throw it in. Instead, he carefully lowered the tarpaulin, its contents hidden from her cursed vision. Then, he pulled out a small, ornate music box. The mechanism whirred to life, filling the warehouse with a saccharine melody, a twisted lullaby in this house of horrors. He carefully placed the music box next to the hidden bundle. Amy felt a different kind of horror then. A chilling, deep-seated fear that transcended the pain of her death. It was a fear of the unknown, of the perverse logic that drove this monster. What was he doing? The following days bled into a nightmarish eternity. Amy's disembodied existence was a torment of isolation and dread. She watched him, helpless, as he continued his macabre ritual. He would arrive each evening, the music box heralding his presence. He'd sit beside the hidden bundle, murmuring to it in a low, unsettling voice. Amy couldn't hear the words, but she felt their weight, a psychic pressure that threatened to unravel her sanity. She was trapped in a living nightmare, forced to witness the desecration of her memory, the perversion of her existence. One night, a violent electrical storm ripped through the city. Lightning illuminated the warehouse in stark, flickering flashes. Amy saw the killer, illuminated in the strobe-like light, his face contorted in a strange mixture of grief and ecstasy. The music box lay broken on the floor, its melody choked into silence by a rogue bolt of lightning. He was holding the bundle. He slowly unwrapped the tarpaulin, revealing her body. Or what was left of it. The torso was mangled, the limbs contorted. Her dress, the one she had been designing just hours before, was shredded and stained with blood. He cradled the corpse in his arms, rocking back and forth like a distraught lover. And then, he lifted her head. He held it aloft, his eyes wide and vacant. In that moment, Amy saw the madness that consumed him, the void where his humanity once resided. He started to sew. With thick, clumsy stitches, he began to reattach her head to her body. The needle pierced her flesh, dragging the sinews of her neck together. The pain, though distant, was excruciating, a phantom torment amplified by her helplessness. As he sewed, the storm reached its crescendo. Lightning struck the warehouse, a blinding flash that filled the space with an unearthly glow. In that instant, Amy felt a surge of energy, a jolt that ripped through her disembodied consciousness. Her eyes snapped open, not the eyes that were sewn clumsily back into her head, but another set. Two glowing emerald orbs appeared faintly in the darkness within the roof of the warehouse. Energy crackled around her consciousness, raw, untamed power. She was no longer just a severed head trapped in a warehouse. The lightning had done something, awakened something. A dark power, born from rage and despair, coursed through her. The warehouse trembled, and the murderer, still clutching at her body, screamed. Amy Rose was dead. But something far more terrifying was about to take her place.